Beware the serpent. Be as wise as a serpent and as gentle as a dove. Beautiful quote from the Gospel of Thomas, the Lord Jesus Christ. So I'm probably going to catch some backlash for this, and this looked like, this is my own projection and fear. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I just have to speak on this because this is what I've seen. The service to self path and those entities that try to want beings to join and come on that path is extremely subtle in some cases. And I've seen recently where a lot of the New Age community, whether that be in the form of like the law of attraction, manifestation, or even some non-dual communities that are just geared towards more of the, this is, everything's just your world, so just worry about your mind. You don't need to worry about anything else. Nothing else is real. It's all an illusion. You just worry about, your love, light, your bliss, your peace, and that's it. Right? So it's really funny if you can't see it. These obviously have very vast potentials to lead just to a service to self path, guys. That's it. I mean, what are you're manifesting for? What are you manifesting for? You, for the whole, for the good of everything, to be in alignment with Source, regardless of if that seems to serve you immediately right now or what you think is great. And I'm not saying that we shouldn't hold the best for ourselves in the world, and that holding that space of love and compassion and healing is not the best thing. It absolutely certainly is, without a doubt. But there's extreme subtleties to where this crosses a line, and this comes into this real consolidated, isolated self-centeredness that's only worried about me, only worried about like my future, my present, and it wraps it up as like, yeah, this is for the good. But underneath that, if one's really to investigate, is that what's really going on? What's really being sought? And I see a lot of people that have just fallen into this trap of teaching this, of speaking on this. This is it. Just worry about this. Just worry about this. Just go this direction. You don't need to worry about anything else. It's da 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 da. And where is the okay. Besides, I understand what true service is in the way that you hold love, you hold unity in being willing to look and meet everything with the open heart, with compassion. But is that really, honestly, is that what's going on with you? Is that really what you're doing? Or are you coming from a place of fear, of like needing to protect in your little bubble, and this is what I need, this is what I need, but you just try to wrap it up as this package of spirituality and good for the whole? Or is it this willy-nilly, just whatever I need to keep my peace, to keep my bliss, to keep my all that, whatever? I'm not saying these things aren't great and important, but a lot of times, is that the truth? Is this real? Is this the real, peace? Is this real bliss, or is this a platitude? There are platitudes, guys. There are beings that assist, and one of the worst things I've seen is this level of it's this false bliss, man. It's this false plateau of like, hey, just stay in this bliss, and you want to just be blissed out all the time, and it's real zombie. If you look into the eyes of the teachers, they're zombified. They're gone. They've checked out. It's because they have. You know, they have checked out. They took an offer, and they don't know. A lot of them don't even know it. It seems like a good deal. Oh man, you get some rest. You get to kick back, put your feet up, right? You get to have other people come to you and look up to you, and have power. That's another thing. Is it offer like where the pride? The pride is an obvious one that stands out there. It's like this. There's this real like sneer. You know, it's sneering almost, just like prideful, like, oh yeah, I've got this bliss and peace and manifesting best life, and I'm so spiritual, I'm blissed out all the time. They don't get it. Poor stupid populace, they're still asleep. Look at that. That shit reeks of something. And it's not something, that I really want. No, they're true teachers that are coming from a place of like connection and bliss and source. Yes, absolutely. Sure. One of the concepts I came across upon recently is one to do with premature purification. This ties into it big time. This is one of the main offers here. So it's like, hey, if you stop here and teach this, and just stay here and teach only this, you can just chill out at this plateau of peace and bliss, and get some attention and focus, and this following, and that's great. I'm not, and some of that is needed. I'm not bashing, like, there's points. People need teachers at different points along the way. Do I mean that these people are lost and like their soul is being sucked into negative service? No, a lot of them aren't even aware that it's not what they think it is. Such is the curtain, such is the deceit. So, I only share this because in my experience, I had to confront and see, and it was very, very jarring to where I wasn't really sincerely coming from where I thought I was coming from. That was very disturbing, very jarring. And then there's like it's a double-edged sword, because then you want to beat yourself up. Then it piggybacks on top of that. Oh, well, you might as well, fuck, you done messed up. Might as well just keep on, live your best life. Make this work. Find you a nice little plateau to carve out too. Get you a little cave in the side of the hill. Or, do you shrug and laugh it off? Look at the innocence of that. Like, oh yeah, of course I wanted to think I'd arrived a little quicker than I did. Of course I wanted to cling to this because I don't have to deal with anything else. I don't really have to commit to any level of service. Other people have already done it. That's another big part of it too, is like you can just hop on a bandwagon with that. It's a band, you can hop into that cave with these, it's already there, it's already carved out for you. You just come into this umbrella and, you'll be good. You'll be taken care of. And it's usually not until you actually can stay in that for a while. And then if you try to step out of that, then you hit friction. And so it really is a trap, because it's like you get in a net, and then to step out of it, you have to go through all that those energies that are there, that are trying, want you to stay complacent, want you to stay stagnant. So, it's not an issue. It's not a problem. It's not something that can't be faced. It's not something that has to be denied. shrug it off, laugh it off. I remember Muji, there's a great little one he said, he's like, oh, he's just joking. He was like, oh, I just realized I'm a fraud, laugh it off. Haha. Forgiveness is always the answer. Bringing all that judgment and that fear, whatever that is, whether it's projected onto someone else or yourself, is besides the point. You got to admit when that's there, though. You have to admit when you see something. You can't lie to yourself. That sugarcoating shit, it's not going anywhere. It's not going far. You can stay under that umbrella in that, sure, that's the only place you will. That's going to become very uncomfortable, though, at a point. Very uncomfortable. Because you're not meant to be there. You're not meant to stay there. That will become very obvious. So, yeah, I just wanted to share some light on that. I'm not trying to call anybody out, any specific teachers or teachings in that way. I do see it. I don't see anybody really. I haven't noticed anybody that I think's like nefariously a part of this, like trying to deceive people intentionally. No, I don't see that at all. For the most part, it's the blind leading the blind is all it is. The blind leading the blind, right? And the blind can tell people like, oh, this is the end, guys. We've made it to the end. Nobody else with sight, with eyes that can see past that, has eyes to disagree or argue different. So what are you gonna do? Well, I'm gonna just call it as I see it. It is what it is. So take what you will from that. And again, forgiveness, that open heart, with that wisdom, that discernment. It's not afraid. It doesn't have to run. It doesn't have to dress things up. All right. Shrugs it off, points it out, calls it what it is, and gives it to the heart. The furnace of the heart. But I don't pretend. I'm not going to pretend that I don't see what it is. I'm not going to go back to calling that something other than what it's not. If there's a booby trap, if there's a snare in place, I don't. I don't want to tell people that's a bed of flowers when there's a damn bear trap underneath it. And of course, with anything, I love, the Course in Miracles says that all concepts have the potential to be a double-edged sword except forgiveness. And I hold to that. And that's because, they can be misused by the ego and can be twirled and used to serve whatever purpose they will. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. So it's just seeing that. What is that really serving? Where is that really heading? And then I'm not trying, hey, if that serves you, if that's where you're supposed to be at, great. If it's not anymore, great. You can step out of it, move on. It's always a choice, man. You have free will. What you do with it is up to you. All right, y'all. Peace and love.